Hey, thanks for checking out EskimoTV. I'm your host, Jason Escamilla, and today we're going to be talking about the 2017 film It, which was directed by Andy Muschietti and is based off the 1986 novel by Stephen King. This film was not just an awesome horror film, but was a really great story. When I go see scary movies, I tend to think of it like going to a haunted house. You go in and there's moments that build up, and then there's things that pop out and scare you. This movie had some really cool sequences. My favorites were the sequence with the projector slides just starting to go on their own and the clown popping out of the wall. That was a very freaky sequence and probably the scariest sequence in the film, where the lighting is flickering throughout this experience. The other sequence that I thought was really unique was the one where Beverly is looking into the drain of the sink and it just pops up and blood just starts gushing everywhere, and then you have the suspense of why her father can't see it. And so those two are probably the sequences that stood out the most to me, and I thought that they were done really well. Lots of horror films have good sequences like that, but what they lack are good characters. This movie had a good stuff will pop out at you and scare you type stuff, but it also had good characters. Each one of them kind of reminded you of someone that you probably went to school with, and that's what made the characters really solid. While the movie went into great detail about the different kids in the group, one thing I wish they could have done is tell us more about the bully, Henry Bowers, and why he's so psychotic. This bully is really crazy. He even goes up to one point where he cuts letters into one of the kids that don't seem to have done anything wrong to him. And I know that there's people like that in the world, unfortunately, that are out there to cause harm to other people for no reason, but I was kind of curious what made this kid this way. And those are the kinds of questions I ask on these movies where they're fleshing out the characters, where you kind of get to know why these characters are the way that they are. I want to know what made this guy be so evil, and maybe the book explains that. And I get it's a movie, they're already doing a fantastic job at explaining the main cast, and so maybe that's one of those things I need to go read the book to find out more on this character. If you have read the book and there are more details, please leave a comment below and let me know why some of the characters were the way that they were in the film. Pennywise is the evil character in this film. I thought that he was going to be a clown, and he looks like a clown to a lot of the kids, but he actually is just this evil force that takes on the form of whatever the person is scared of. It, or the evil character, only had as much power as the kid had fear. So if you weren't scared of him, then he had no power over you. And I thought that's a cool lesson. It adds to the lesson that I actually strongly believe in, which is when something's bothering you and you're letting something scare you, or you're fearful about something that's going on in your life, the more you think about it, the more power it's going to have over you. And kind of the same concept applies with this fictional evil character. The more that you give into the fear that this thing has control over you, the more control it will actually have, and it can even lead to that character's death. And that's a lot of people in the world. A lot of the people in the world fear certain things, and they don't do things that they're supposed to because they feel like they might fail, or they feel like it might not turn out right, and so they end up not doing what they should. Overall, it was a great movie, and I definitely think you should go watch it. If you like horror films, you'll not only get a good horror scary film, but you'll also get a good story that has some solid characters in it. Leave a comment below, let me know who your favorite character was, what was the scariest sequence in the film for you, and if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to EskimoTV.